Hey, how's it going? Good morning. I want to share with you something super important that has helped me transform many, many lives, including myself. And before we get started, I know you're getting started on this fitness journey, and this is probably not the first time that you've started this journey. You've probably been trying to achieve the body of your goals for many, many years or many tries in the past. And unfortunately, you failed, and as we all have in the past. And I just wanted to share with you something that's come to my mind, some tools that I've utilized in the past with myself and a lot of clients that I've transformed that has definitely helped. First of all, we need to dig into why you're doing this. You got to really think about it, and dig deep. I think a lot of us, when we get asked, why are you starting this journey? A lot of us say, maybe I want to lose 10, 20, 50, 100 pounds. And, or we just want to get ready for the summer. We want to get ready for a wedding or whatever it is. I think that's just the surface of the reasons why you're getting started. But you got to be real with yourself, you know. You got to start thinking about, like, why are you really doing this? You know, you got to start digging a little deeper. Are you a parent, perhaps? Do you have kids? Don't you want to be around for your kids? You got to have a real why. I always, parents that do have a child or a few, I always tell them, I ask them, like, how old is your children? Do you want to be around for to see them graduate? Do you want to be around to see them walk? Do you want to walk them down the aisle? Do you want to see that big day? Do you want to be around? There's so many of us who are, in a point in life where we're just not happy with the way we look. We're not comfortable looking at ourselves in the mirrors. I myself, when I was overweight, I remember avoiding the mirror for such a long time. Every time I would, walk into the shower, I would, just walk right past it when I was getting ready to go into the shower, just because it was, every time I looked at myself in the mirror, it was a reminder of what I let happen to myself, so it was just sorry, it's a little tough talking about it sometimes, but I think the problem with that is just it's a reminder of how I let myself down throughout the years, and it's facing the problem that I had. And I think that's one of the biggest factors that a lot of us do, is we just ignore the problem, hoping that it's just going to go away every time we, take a bite of that cookie, or, have that slice of pizza, or our friends ask us to go out and drink or whatever it is. It's just like we ignore the problem that we have, and we just kind of go with the flow. But really start thinking about, like, why is it that you're really doing this? Once you start getting really deep into it, some of is it perhaps, maybe your diabetes maybe runs in your family. I know my parents, both sides, we a lot of our family members suffer from diabetes. My dad, as a matter of fact, he actually lost his eyesight due to diabetes, just because he didn't take care of himself. And being Mexican and being a macho man, for him it was just like, I'm okay, I can eat a little bit of this, a little bit of that, even though he was already diagnosed with diabetes. Before you knew it, a couple months went by, and one day he just woke up and he lost eyesight on one of his eyes. A couple months later, his second eye went out, so now he's legally blind. He's been legally blind for about 3 years now. So it's very sad to see people go down that path. I think a lot of us just ignore the problem, just like my father did. Whatever your journey is, you got to really start thinking about it. And I think a lot of the problems with why you failed in the past is because I'm going to be 100% honest with you, and I don't want to offend you, but this is just down to the core. I think it comes down to integrity. You've lost integrity. You lost integrity and self-love for yourself, and that's the same reason why you're here. But this is not to offend you or anything like that, because I'm here to help you level up your life, and I found ways to actually get your life back. Help you with the tools that I'm going to provide you to try to better yourself. So let me explain, like how many times have you actually said, diet starts on Monday, right? How many times have you told your friends that? How many years, I mean, think back, 2017, 2018, 2019. Has anything changed? Maybe you might have started a diet regimen or something. It lasted a couple weeks, maybe a month or so, and then what happened? One day came along, and that one day your friends asked you to go out and party, drink, or maybe I don't know what the situation is, but you might have just started skipping a workout, having that extra cookie, and before you knew it, your diet just went out the window, and now you're here. You're wondering like, why can't I achieve this? And it's not the food. I don't think it's the program. I don't think it's the gym. It comes down to integrity. Okay, you've lost integrity and self-love for yourself. You don't love yourself enough to make a decision to stick to what you said you were going to do. And that's what integrity is, taking action towards the things that you said that you were going to do. Okay, so I found ways to help you stay accountable to that. Okay, every time that you've skipped a workout or whatever it was, you made a promise to yourself that you were gonna start the diet on Monday, or you were gonna work out, you're gonna get abs or whatever it was. Every time you did that and you didn't accomplish it, you broke a promise to yourself. And throughout the years this has happened. It's not just with fitness, maybe it's happened in other areas. But really think about this. If your parents ask you to go pick up someone from the airport, or whatever it is, if your boss asks you to stay an extra 10 minutes, whatever the situation is, you're always there. Sometimes you're even there 5, 10 minutes before, right? But why is it that you're always there for other people and you don't break those promises, you go and do them, but you can break a promise to yourself by skipping your workouts, by putting that cookie inside your body, by falling into temptation, by letting your friends jeopardize your journey, okay? Or family members, whoever it is, and it's nothing against family members or anything like that, or friends. I think a lot of people say that you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with, and I do believe that. And they say that you should change your circle. I don't think you should change your circle. There's no reason why you should stop talking to your family members or your friends. They love you. At the end of the day, they do love you. They're afraid of you changing. This is why they sabotage your journey. This is why they make fun of you when you start a diet regimen, or they don't invite you out anymore to go drink because you're on a diet or whatever it is. It's not that they truly want to sabotage you and your journey and they don't want to see you succeed. It's just that they love you, and unfortunately they don't want you to change. You're part of their tribe, and they just don't understand that you're not happy with where you are in life, and you need to realize that you're not happy. Okay, you need to stop letting other people dictate what your life is going to be. What do you want out of life? Okay, you need to really think about that. Okay, so you need to stay with integrity. Say what you're gonna do and stick to it. Okay, so I came up with ways on how to fix this problem. Okay, this has worked for me. This has worked for a lot of my clients. And what I do is I have a journal that I keep. Okay, so I've got this one from Andy Frazilla's the mfceo.com, and this is practically just a journal. It's called the Power List. Okay, so we're talking about promises. I want you to keep a power promise to yourself. And let me explain why, okay? When you keep a promise to yourself and you actually do what you said you were going to do, you start believing in yourself. Now, in the past, when we were talking about the things that you said you were going to do and you just didn't accomplish them, or whatever it was, if it was, losing 10 pounds, getting abs, or being summer ready, or whatever it is, every single time that you let yourself down, your ego, your self-belief, you just deteriorates every single time, and we talked about that, when you say diet starts on Monday, then Monday comes along, you start your fitness journey, you meal prep and everything, but then Wednesday comes along and, you're downing a pizza, then your friends are like, hey, what happened to diet starts on Monday, what happened? And you're like, crap, that situation, things like that, you start telling yourself, like, I messed up. Then you slowly start, you stop believing in yourself. You stop believing that you're capable of doing things. And now you start making promises. And even though you stop telling people that diet starts on Monday, you tell yourself that, but that's a silent promise. And your mind does not know the difference whether it's a spoken promise, a silent promise, or whatever it is, okay? But every time that you make a promise to yourself and you don't stick to it, your self-confidence deteriorates, okay? You stop believing in yourself, and we need to get that back. So what I have designed is get yourself a journal. If you want to get this journal, I love this journal, okay? So what I want you to do is every week, I want you to make yourself a power promise, okay? A power promise to yourself, whatever it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Like for me, I mean, it can be like, I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to drink a gallon of water every day. Or I'm going to meal prep every day. I am not going to eat out for 60 days, 30 days, whatever it is, okay? I'm gonna start eating breakfast. You're a person who doesn't, who struggles eating breakfast, maybe that can be something, okay? But keep a promise. It can be a little promise, a big promise, whatever it is. But start small, then start thinking big. Every week, you're gonna put in here. So what we're gonna do is, what I like about this journal here, for example, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's got 5 tasks, okay? Eventually, I want you to start building up to 6. But you can write down whatever task that is on your first week and try to stick with it, all right? Stick with it for one whole week, all right? This is a small target goal. Whatever it is, if it's drinking a gallon of water, that's probably one of the hardest things that you can do, especially when you're starting a fitness journey. A lot of people have a hard time just drinking a gallon of water, but tell yourself you're gonna drink a gallon of water. Write that promise in here, and I want you to look at it every single day, okay? Once you accomplish that promise to yourself, I want you to write another one, okay? If it's, I'm not gonna eat out at all, and I'm gonna cook all my food, I'm gonna meal prep. That's your second promise to yourself, okay? This is a power promise, all right? Once you've accomplished one, you start believing, you start getting some momentum. Once you accomplish 2, you start believing in yourself even more, okay? So that's what I want you to do. Eventually, I want you to build up to 6 habits, okay? And, every single time that you accomplish this, you're gonna start building up some amazing self-confidence. This stuff works, guys. It's just, super important, don't write an extra power promise unless you're sticking with it. I want one whole week of this, okay? Now, every time that you write another one, so now you got 2 power promises to yourself, okay? And if it's drinking water, for example, for that one week you accomplish that, then we mentioned the I'm not going to eat out for for this certain amount of time. If it's 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 8 weeks, or whatever, doesn't matter what it is. Okay, you're still going to be drinking that gallon of water, so you're just overlapping another one. You're keeping another promise to yourself. Guys, this is how you gain momentum. This is how you start believing in yourself. This is how you change your mindset. And once you start doing this stuff, you start loving yourself again, okay? You got to love yourself enough to actually say enough is enough. That was my deciding factor, what changed my life. I always wanted to change the way I looked. I was so disgusted with being 100 pounds overweight because I was an athlete growing up, and all of a sudden my life just completely changed, and it changed because I let it. I stopped believing in myself. I started letting other people, dictating who I wanted to be. Okay, I wanted to go out with friends. I wanted to be accepted. I cared a lot about just being accepted and having people look at me a certain way that before I knew it, I became someone I didn't want to become. Okay, and I don't want that to be you. Okay, so start believing in yourself. Start having some integrity. Start building those daily habits, and I hope that works for you because I know it will. And the biggest thing about fitness that I've learned, it's accountability. It's accountability to yourself, okay? That's what wins the race. I've shown that it's possible to stay shredded and make it a lifestyle. It's not impossible, guys. I've lost 100 pounds. I completely have changed my life. You guys know my accomplishments. There's no reason for me to talk about them, but I just want you to understand and look at what I've done with my life so you can be able to do the exact same thing, okay? So that's going to be your task. I want you to pick up a journal. You can just go to Walmart. It doesn't matter where you get it. Write down 6 numbers, okay? Start off with 1. Keep a small power promise to yourself and accomplish that for one whole week. Just 1 week, 7 days, guys. 7 days. That's nothing. I know you can do that, okay? And on the top, what I want you to do is I want you to write a W and an L. So this means win, this is loss. So every morning that you look at it, what I want you to do is, you write the date on the top, and this is going to be pretty much a calendar. So write the date. If today is whatever, the first of the month, then this is going to be the second. You flip the page, it's going to be the third, then the fourth, okay? So the W and the L, every day at the end of the day, you're going to write a W, you're going to circle the W if you won the day, L if you lost the day, okay? I got this from Andy Frizella, and this was his way of keeping accountable to business. It's slightly different to what I'm doing. What he was talking about is you need to do 5 critical things to win the day. For me, I want you to start with one thing, and I'm relating this to fitness, okay? So it's a very similar message, but this is more personalized to what you're doing today. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please reach out to me.